And we are live. Welcome everybody to Ask a Wizard. Let me get the live chat up in here. Welcome to the stream. You know the deal. If you'd like to get a live wizard reading in today's stream, thumbs up this video and share the stream. When you do that, you will qualify for the free wizard readings. Let me adjust the phone here so it doesn't go tumbling throughout the stream as it has in previous streams. And let us begin. So today, we are going to be getting a little deeper into our series that we've been doing for this week, which is on Plato's prophecy. This is about why Socrates felt that democracy was not a good strategy, his prediction for the fall of democracy, and the system that would be put in place, which is now referred to as a soft dictatorship. So we discussed the overarching flaws in democracy, the vulnerabilities. Yesterday, we discussed how those vulnerabilities are being exploited, and today we're going to be explaining how this is being implemented on a principled level for us in modern day society. So we're going to be looking at the actual mechanics and providing you with a way of viewing the world, a paradigm that you can learn about in Plato's book, The Republic. Fantastic book, highly recommend reading it, and figure out what is the game plan of the societal elites, why are the things happening in our society that are happening today, and well, not in today's stream, but in the upcoming streams, we'll be discussing what you can do to overcome those problems. So that's what we're going to be talking about today on the stream. Hello, Trent. How's it going? Hey, Matthew, the Matrix. Hey, how's it going, Matthew? I'll see you this weekend, man. Akira, haha, I finally made it. Welcome, Akira. How are you doing? Hello, 19 Ali's. Ahaha, I'm early. Neema. How you doing, Neema? Hello, Carlos. Welcome, everybody. So, if you'd like to get a live wizard reading, make sure you thumbs up this video and share the stream. Then let me know in the comments below that you have shared the stream, and I will get you a free wizard reading. By the way, we now have the Ask a Wizard tip jar. Whenever you send me a PayPal message, you will get when you do a PayPal donation, you can donate whatever you want. You write a little message on there, question, insight, feedback, support, whatever you'd like to write. I write it down on a piece of paper, crumple it up into a ball. Once we've got quite a few of these, I do a little magic trick and we read them live on air. So if you'd like to add to the tip jar and support what I do, go to paypal.me/askawizard and pay whatever you think that is worth. What do we got going on here? Oh, we got some big text coming in. My alarm hasn't been waking me up in time, which is probably good because I have been very sleep deprived. Oh no, that's not good. What is it? What is this? I'm his brother, BC. He's asleep. I'm not understanding your question, Trent, but hello. I have liked. Well, thank you, Nema. Are you looking for a reading, Nema? I'll get you on the list if you're interested. When I was scrolling through TikToks, I saw you on live. Well, welcome. How are you doing? But I woke up for 3 nights. Nice. But I woke up for 3 nights so mad that I did miss your stream. Oh, well, welcome back. Welcome to the Parliament of Owls again, sir. 19 Ali's. When I was scrolling through TikTok, I saw you on TikTok Live. Welcome. My alarm hasn't been waking me up. Sorry, let's get Nema on here. All right, Nema. All right, let us begin. Let us discuss. So, we covered in the previous streams, we're going through a series on Plato where we are breaking down the exact Platonic prophecy where Plato described technically Socrates, but through Plato's writing, predicted the fall of democracy, the flaws that exist within the system, how it would be exploited, the methodology of exploitation, and what it would look like in society. Today, we're going to be discussing the integration of that theory into the enemy's view. What is the person who shuts down the democracy's system's motivation? What are they attempting to accomplish? How are they attempting to accomplish it? And what is the game plan that they have set up for accomplishing that result? Well, Plato actually dictates all of this in his book, The Republic, which we will be talking about briefly here and discussing for you guys. But more or less, what this breaks down to is that a government is a farm and its citizens are its livestock. When you understand that paradigm, it is going to make this much easier to understand, and I believe you'll begin to see the holes in what you are presented with in life start to fall through. So you'll begin to see the reality. You might call this exiting Plato's cave. However, to exit Plato's cave, first we are going to descend down into the caverns and see where the monsters dwell. So that is going to be our goal for today. And we will start that right now. So, you are the livestock. What is the farmer of you wanting? Well, the optimal goal of any farmer wants the maximum productivity from their livestock, and that is what the government system aims to do. The government wants you to live a long life that is capable of producing work. Notice that it doesn't say healthy or happy or good. It's simply a long life that is productive. That is the end goal of the farmer, to extract as much value from you as possible over the longest period of time possible. Now, within that, you have to keep the person moderately healthy, but you don't want them to be, you don't need them to be extremely healthy, but you need them to be moderately healthy. You want them to not be extremely happy, but you do need them to be not completely and totally depressed, at least not so much so that you couldn't heal with drugs and medication. And so that's kind of the end goal of the farm animal, is to make a person who is a mildly docile individual who will produce maximum value over a long period of time, and to do that at scale with all the farm animals, with a few people being lost along the way. So how does this work? Well, when you're raising goats and when you're raising chickens and when you're raising cows, how you farm them is you put something of interest for them and you attract their attention to it. And then from there, you can proceed to milk them, you can proceed to grab their eggs, and so on and so forth. Well, that is what the farmers do to you. The farmers say, hey, come to our cities, come buy a house, which is a product that was invented in the 1950s, by the way, the mortgage. Before that, people bought what were homesteads. It was buying land and having houses built on them or building their own houses on them so that there was generational wealth. Financial industries invented a product called the home, the townhome, the condo, the apartment. These were all invented to help facilitate people in selling debt. And they would, in these homes, say, we are going to give you power, we are going to give you water, we are going to give you access to money, and we are going to give you access to healthcare, and we're going to give you access to drugs and medication. So a nice, happy, easy life. Well, what does the cow want? Is the cow going to break through the fence and go out onto the fields and eat its grass? Or is it going to go to the giant piles of easy-to-eat grain? Well, most of the cows will go for the grain. And so the cows head on over to the grain and the people head on over to the cities. It's from here that you begin to be farmed. People will farm you in a variety of ways, but the majority of these revolve around the major sectors that we see today. Everything that you associate with scandal and evil and darkness is one of these people who's milking you for money. For example, pharmaceutical industries. They want you to not get healed. They want you to have symptoms and sickness so that they can sell you drugs to make more money. Food industry doesn't want you to be healthy and eat a correct portion of food. They want you to eat the maximum amount of their product possible so that they can sell as much food as possible. So they intentionally design their foods to be addictive because they want to sell the most amount of food. And hence you get fatter people. Now you might be saying, but Tyler, fatter people are less productive. That's correct. Luckily, there's another industry that they're partnered with, which is the health industry. And the health industry makes billions of dollars selling these fat people guides on how to no longer be fat that don't involve eating less food that hasn't been genetically engineered to be addictive. And so that is a whole nother farm that farms you for money. And so all of these systems are designed to get you to do the hard work of generating revenue, generating value, getting money, and then they harvest it from you through these means. And that is how they farm. Now, this entire plan is overarchingly controlled by the flashing screens. So what Plato describes in this, hello, Mialonima, hello, how's it going? I'm sorry, I forgot. And on top of all of this, you have the intellectual area. So we want to make sure that the people are not are insecure about their intelligence and are assured that there exist experts in the world who 100% do have the answers. You're just not smart enough to get those. It's very key to making this system work so that experts can tell you that this is the correct thing to do with your life. Experts say you should be wearing a mask. Experts say you should not be wearing a mask. Experts say you should be wearing a mask, and so on and so forth. And so that is what's being revealed to you with these particular lies. Experts very often are wrong, and keep in mind they're people, and even more frequently they're bought off. And as we've seen with the reproducibility crisis in science, science is less predictive than a coin flip. In fact, 52% of peer-reviewed studies fail to be reproduced, meaning that a coin flip is more accurate than peer-reviewed science nowadays. Very startling results, but that is the case of the world. Now, what is this structure? Why are there people being farmed, and who is farming them? Well, that's the question that you have, and Plato actually laid this out. He specifically said that to run a society, you have three classes of people. You have the upper elites, the intellectuals, the people that are the wise ones, the ones that he claimed left the cave, as it were. This is what people called the illuminated ones. This is where the meme of the Illuminati actually comes from. And they are the higher up people, the smart ones, the wise ones. And below them is the second tier, which is the military force. So there's the people who are the enforcers for the intellectuals, because the intellectuals are not capable of exerting physical force, so they design a military force to enforce their laws. And then finally, below the military is the farm animals, the peasantry. And Plato specifically dictates in his book, The Republic, which you can read for yourself, that this group of people are the ones that are told the noble lie. Yes, that is an oxymoron. Yet it is the word that Plato uses. He says, tell the public a noble lie so that they will feel like what they're doing is worthwhile, meaningful, and important, despite the fact that it is not. This is one of the darker sides of Plato, and in fact, it's one of the reasons why I constantly say I am a fan of Aristotle and not Plato, because Aristotle 100% goes against this, because how can we worship truth, and how can we loyally follow truth if we are building our foundations on lies? And I believe the answer is you can't, and I'm a Christian, so of course I think that that's the case. But the grand narratives, the stories that are used, the theater, which is where the definition of theater comes from, you get the political theater. You may have heard this term. They don't use it as much anymore because of how obvious it is, but political theater. Putting on a show with actors that portray stories to control the cows, to control the people being farmed. You put on theater, you bring in characters and make a soap opera so that people can pick a team and divide themselves and argue amongst themselves and feel like they're fighting for something meaningful, fighting for something that's true. Wave this flag, wave this sign, hold this position, believe this is true, believe this is not. And all of these things are completely fabricated stories and narratives to control the masses who aren't capable of leaving the farm. Now, these all are all overarchingly run through with a grander narrative using storytelling. This is where the movie comes in. And quite poetically, you might think of the movie theater as the cow's barn, where you walk in and you eat your grains, stuffing the grains into your face as you watch the narrative and are told what to believe, what to think, and what is true. And those are the noble lies of Plato. So that is the system that is produced when democracy is executed correctly. And is eventually infiltrated and taken over by the wise. And that is Plato's Republic in a nutshell. We have a system that promotes farm animals, for you to be wrapped up in a story, for you to believe politics is real, to look at the news and think that actually happened. And all the while, a small group of highly intelligent people are at the top, farming you for money and resources, and are being protected by a military force. That is the end result of the Republic, and that is currently where we find ourselves in America. So, tomorrow's stream, or possibly the next stream, we are going to be discussing how we can fix this. What can we do ourselves to work within this system? We can't fix the system. That's not something that's within our power to do. But what we can do is live a way that will give us freedom to escape this. There is no fear to have here. The Lord says, do not be afraid, and I will be offering you some solutions presented by Aristotle, as well as other philosophers, for how you can live in this kind of system and be a success. So we're going to be talking about that in the upcoming streams, so don't be afraid, do not be worried. While this does sound scary, while this is true, there is hope, and there is a way out, and it is actually quite easy to do, and it doesn't require violence. It doesn't require protest. It doesn't require you to wave signs, freak out, scream, do terrorist acts, do anything horrible at all. In fact, it is involving you living a life that is good, noble, and true. And so we're going to be discussing how Aristotle solved this problem in upcoming streams, and I will hope that will help some of you guys out in the owls. So that is today's lecture for today, and we are going to move on to 3 negotiation techniques that you guys can use in your everyday life. These are really practical skill sets that are taught by various philosophers and are very powerful techniques indeed. In fact, by applying these techniques now, you can actually begin to gain a lot more resources in your life. You can negotiate for discounts, you can get better at sales, you will be better at networking, and most importantly of all, the most important and biggest part of your job career, which is the job interview and the initial salary that you negotiate. That is where this will really pay off. So we're going to be teaching you guys that. But first, let's see, do we have any questions? Anybody we need to talk to? 19 Allies says, I can't remember. The last time I was in one of your live streams, I think it was a month ago. Wow, welcome 19 Allies. My whole life is making so much more sense. This is life-changing as far as thought process goes. I'm glad that that was helpful for you, Akira. Definitely check out Plato's The Republic if you'd like more information on it. Hola, mi lamo nema. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean, but hi. How's it going? Welcome, Heko Muradalada. Don't know what you're saying. I speak English. That's the only language I speak. So if you are speaking a language and not just gibberish, let me know. All right. So with that, let's move on to the negotiation techniques. So what can you start to apply in your life today to start negotiating? Well, the fact is, most people just don't know that negotiation is on the table. In fact, most things in life are actually a negotiation. We're just not aware of it. It means, have you ever made jelly fruit before? Yes, actually I have. I made marmalade and a few other ones. And I made a fig jelly. Yes, I have. So most things in life are a negotiation. You're just not aware of it. And by understanding these 3 key principles, you can begin to operate in a world where 80% of people don't even know how to negotiate. By just learning these 3 principles, you're already going to be in the top 20% of people because you simply know how to do the basics of negotiation. So that's what we're going to teach you to do right now. The first and most crucial principle of all negotiation is you have to be able to walk away from a deal if you're going to begin to negotiate. You have to have the ability to say, no, thank you, I will take my business elsewhere. If you are not in that position, you cannot negotiate. So if you fail to do that part, do not negotiate. That is not the situation for negotiation. So that's the first principle. The second principle is you want to find out not what how high you can go, but instead, how low can you go? You want to figure out what is your absolute bare minimum you have to achieve, you have to attain in this negotiation. Once you have that defined, then you want to go much further than that amount and then walk your way back. So if you know that you can accept, let's just go ahead here and ban this person for life. Boom. You'll never speak here again. I love banning people. Makes me so happy. You will, once you know where your minimum is, you can figure out how far you can go. Or you can go as far as you want and then walk your way back. That way, if you know what your bare minimum is, anything you get after that bare minimum is just extra for you. So if you know that you can get the car for $10,000, that's your maximum, you might come in and say, I'll give you $6,000 for the car, which the person might counter with $8,000, and then you just save $2,000 because your maximum was $10,000. So you want to identify what is the absolute, I have to get this amount, and then from there go much, much further. So that's the protecting the downside strategy. And then the third and final one is figuring out the person you're negotiating with. What do they really want from the negotiation? What are they trying to achieve? What do they actually value? And then find out if there's other ways you can provide value to achieve that goal that are outside, say, the monetary desires. For example, a great one was the owls. There was an owl who wanted one-on-one sessions with, in fact, there's a few owls. There was a few owls who wanted one-on-one sessions with me, and they, couldn't afford it at the time. They wanted to get advice. And so one of the owls said, hey, I'll make videos for you. I'll edit, I'll post your link 1 hour a day. I'll post your link on Reddit. I'll post your link on social media. I'll help get your word out there and tell my friends about you. And I was like, sure, because that's one of the things that I would do. I would pay someone to do that for me. So why not? That's a good example of how he found out what did I value and then offered that instead. Another person I talked with said, hey, I don't have money, but I do have a garden. Would you like fresh eggs and veggies every time I come over for a reading? And I have a whole bunch of extras of those. And I said, sure, of course. And that was an acceptable way of paying because now I get high quality produce, vegetables, and eggs without having to pay for them. And I would have to go to the store and pay a lot if I wanted to get that kind of quality at Whole Foods, for example. And so that's another example of how you can provide a different kind of value and achieve the results that you want. So those are the three core principles that you can apply. Make sure you're in a situation you can negotiate with, that you can walk away from. Figure out what your absolute minimum you can tolerate is, and then negotiate higher than that. And then finally, figure out who you're talking to and how you can achieve a win-win from what you need and what they need. And those are the three principles of negotiation for you guys today. I hope that helped you out. Hope that gave you guys some insights. And let's follow up with the comments here before we move on to everybody's favorite segment, the Gestures Challenge. I read some headlines and I tell some one-liner jokes in an ever-ending quest to convince the owl who is afraid to go live on Instagram because they are a comedian and one of my clients, and they are scared because they think that they will get ridiculed for what they do. And so I will continue to tell jokes and get better at telling jokes until they learn how to go live. So we're going to be doing that here in just a minute. All right. Yes, I have. Awesome. All right. Sweet. Yes, I have made fig jelly, by the way, and it's delicious. All right, so let's begin with our lines for today. So the first headline for the day was Jeff Bridge, I don't know who that is, I'm assuming it's an actor. Jeff Bridge reveals the secret behind his 43-year marriage in Hollywood. It turns out not being a raging alcoholic drug addict and cheating on people is really effective. Joke number 2. All right, here we go. Pope. Market capitalism has failed in pandemic. Needs reform. Capitalism needs reform? Capitalism, Pope? How about you let me know when you have an inquisition of those demons in the house of God, and then we'll hear about your uneducated opinions of economics. Akira. Woo! Awesome. I got the last from Akira. Look at that. I'm making progress. Making progress. All right, and then what do we got here? What's the final headline? This is from New York Times. The new protest movements without a public face. The word you're looking for is a faceless mob, and that's not new. And those are my 3 jokes for you guys today. I hope that helped you, gets a bit of happiness, a little bit of joy, and hopefully it will inspire this owl to finally post on Instagram. And I will definitely shout you out. And with that, we're going to move on to the live wizard readings. So I think we only have 1 live wizard reading come in for today. So it's Nema. Nema, you are here. It's time for your live wizard reading. If you're still with us, let us know in the comments below, and we will get your reading started shortly. It appears, according to my viewer count, people do not enjoy in-depth discussions about Plato. we nosedive from like 13 to 7, and then by the end we're down to a measly 2 or 3. Oh no. Well, I'll have to keep that to the notes, but unfortunately we're finishing out that topic for this week because I think it's crucial for people to know. All of the things that are happening right now are not new. They are not scary. They are not special. Oh wait, I am here too. I shared and liked. Well, thank you very much, Akira. We'll get you a reading. Akira, you are up. Akira, well, actually, Nema, if you're still here, let us know, and we'll give you the roll call. But yeah, I think it's really important for people to know during these times. People are scared. People are freaking out. People are like, oh, this has never happened before. This is horrible. Who could have predicted these things? And it's like, well, Plato wrote this exact situation down in a book like 2,000 years ago. You could just, read it. But people aren't, and that's alarming. So I'm hoping that I can at least give them enough of an overview so that they're inspired to read it themselves and begin to see that you don't need to be afraid. All of this stuff has happened before. It's been predicted before. It's very obvious systems, and it's easy to deal with. We can 100% get through these times, and not only can we get through them, we can flourish and we can thrive, we can grow. These can be some of the best times of your lives right now if you simply have the right knowledge, mindset, and goal. And that is what I want to give to the owls. All right, Nema, we're going to give you the roll call. Going once, Nema. Going twice, Nema. Sold. All right, and we are going to move on to Akira. Akira, you are up. Is there anything in particular you're looking for a reading about? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get your reading started shortly. I think at the end of all of these things, well, I shouldn't say that out loud. Never mind. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But let's just say I have a structure and plan for the Wizard Library once this move is done that I think you guys will enjoy. I think you will enjoy. Oh, Nema, you finally showed up. Nema, there you are. Well, oh wait. Okay, Akira, Nema has slid in to class right in the back seat. I saw her sneaking in, pulling in the door, trying to get behind while I had my back towards to the board. I was on the board, I was writing down the thing, and then they're just like, I'm gonna just sneak in here. I knew. I noticed. I saw you, Nema. All right, Nema, what did you need a reading about? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get your reading started, and then we will do Akira's reading after that. Haha, Leffel, that's good. I'm just glad she still gets a reading. Me too. All right, Nema, what are you looking for? We'll get a general reading set up here for you. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking for insights on. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, like, when you read The Republic, and it's not like a secret, like, we're hiding this information from people. It's like, no. Like, he just outright says it. He's like, yeah, no, there's people that are the farm animals, then there's the smart people, and then there's the warrior class, and we're going to just turn them into cows and farm them for money. And we'll tell them a lie and call it a noble lie so that they're motivated to work hard so that we make more money off of them. Yeah. He just like blatantly says it. It's not like a code or anything. It's quite transparent. All right, let's get you a reading. For Nema, Nema's looking for a general reading. Mr. Aristotle, would you be so kind? Looking into the past, what we see here is the Jack of Wands. The Jack of Wands is about taking action on the spiritual. So this is saying that in the past here, we went through a period of time where we had our principles guiding us. We were following what we believed in, what we knew to be true, following the principles that we hold dear. And that was our guiding force. This might be a connection to God. This could be a strong belief, strong values, but this is the guiding force for us in the past here. And that force has driven us into a position where we've run into the Lover's card. So this could be being drawn to a soulmate, but this could also be the family bonds, and it could even be being drawn towards something that you're passionate about, something that is an art for you, something that you love. And I'm getting the intuitive feeling that that's actually what this is. I think that what we're seeing here is you are motivated by a deep passion, a drive towards something that you truly love and care about. So when these two things come together, this is where you get the position of the person who can really, this is the person who gets really excited, really inspired. The image that comes to mind is kind of like Naruto. He's got this big goal in his mind, and he's just not going to let anything stop him no matter what. He's just going to achieve that goal. And we kind of see that here for you now, this really powerful motivation. Is this sounding accurate for you, Nema? Is this giving you some insights? Let me know in the comments below. And if it is, let me know. And if not, that's perfectly fine. We will adjust accordingly. Oh, by the way, earlier I said I only can speak English. I also can say like 4 words in German. That's a fun fact. Four phrases, I guess, maybe. I can. I know just enough to act like I could speak German for about 4 seconds so that German people begin speaking to me in German, and then they go, yeah, I don't know actually how to speak German. Nema says this sounds accurate. Glad to hear that this is sounding on point for you, Nema. All right, well, let's move on to the next steps. So what we see popping up here on the next steps is the 6 of Wands. So what this is a call to action here is saying you're going to go through times in the near future here where it's going to be a grind. You're going to be asking yourself, like, is this worth it? Should I keep doing this? This is so hard. This is so difficult. Maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just give up. And this card here is saying, don't give into those instincts. Stick with it. This is part of the process. You have to grind. You have to remind yourself that you're not doing this for views. You're not doing this for money. You're not doing this to be famous. You're doing this because you love what you do. If you do what you love, it doesn't matter what those external variables are at any given moment if you're just doing it because you love it. And that's how I am with this. I love what I'm doing here, and it doesn't matter how many people are here. There's, when we do our TikTok show, we have 1,000 people. When we do the YouTube show, we'll have 50 people, and it doesn't affect what I do. I love what I'm doing, so I continue to do it. And you have to have that mindset if you want to play the long game of following your passions. You have to actually love what you're doing, not the idea of being successful or well-known or recognized or getting arbitrary little thumbs ups and hearts for what you're doing. You just have to want to be great at what you're doing and try to improve every day because of it. So that's kind of what we see popping up here for you. I hope that helps you out. I hope that gives you some insights. Let me know in the comments below if that helps you out. And we're going to move on to Akira. Woo! Akira, you are up. It's time for Akira's reading right now. I can speak in Chinese, and I'm Hispanic. However, I don't speak Spanish. I speak English, and I took Chinese for 2 years. Very interesting. I speak English. Full stop. I can't imagine learning another language. It's absolutely incredibly difficult for me. What what you said sounds like the anime The Promised Neverland. I've never seen that before. I'll have to check it out. I think someone else, it might have been you who recommended to me a while ago. We're watching something called Monster. It's a very dark anime. It's basically about the kind of what we're talking about here today. You know, the fact that the system is designed to farm you. You know, it's not trying to make you healthy. It's not trying to make you happy or successful. It's designed to milk you for money. That's all it's trying to do. You are the crop, as it were. So that's what it's trying to do. And the good news is there is an escape, and we live in a soft dictatorship here in America. And so you are fully able to escape it at any time without force. There's no pressure other than social pressure. And if you're okay with people saying, you're crazy, you're a bad person, you're the mean names of the day, you can just not get involved. You can actually just leave. And there's no repercussions to doing that. So we're going to be teaching you guys how to do that in the upcoming weeks here, or upcoming days, I should say. Oh, Akira. Anything in particular you're looking for a reading regarding Akira? Let me know. Let me know. What I love about these YouTube streams is we can just drop some of the most dangerous and powerful ideas on the planet. And if I just make sure that I keep the vocabulary above a college level, which, by the way, above a college level is a complete disgrace. I know 5-year-olds that are more capable than a college level, because college is a joke. Do not go to college. As long as I do that, the algorithms aren't smart enough to pick up on what I'm saying, and we can kind of just skate by. we can say some of the most dangerous ideas in the world, and they'll never know. Nope, I'm still struggling with myself. Hate a lot lately. That's not good. All right, well, let's take some looks, sees here, and see how can we start taking action today to improve that. We're not trying to solve this problem instantly because there aren't instant solutions to these kinds of problems, but maybe, just maybe, we can take some actions that will increase how we are feeling today by just 1%. How can we get 1% better and make that our goal? And then the next day, get another percent, and so on and so forth, and then eventually we will escape out of that hole. Let's find where we're at. All right, we got the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands is about the attainment of spiritual foundations. So it sounds like even though we're going through some difficult times, we do have this newly acquired foundation of knowledge. I think that we're starting to get some principles, get some philosophy, get some wisdom under ourselves. So we're starting to get a rock to build on. Now that can be a painful process, and sometimes it's not even clear to see that process, but we are learning how to think. And that's the first step to really getting out of these things. Now, we do see a dilemma here, which is a choice regarding knowledge. So the Two of Spades here is a choice between ideas. So you're kind of torn between two different paths. Do I want to pursue this intellectual path? Do I want to pursue this intellectual path? And that's kind of where we find you at right now, is this crossroads element here. And what I'd recommend doing is, it's an intellectual pursuit. It's not going to make or break which one you do first. I would just pick one and start, maybe listen to a podcast. Check out a podcast, maybe even a 5-minute YouTube video, a summary of what you're trying to learn, and that can give you a brief overview of what it is, and then you might be able to say, oh, that's really not for me. Never mind, I want to try something else. Or, wow, that was actually really interesting. I want to learn more. And so that's a good way to get through these kind of dilemmas here, especially when there aren't long-term consequences. Just take a little sample. Just taste a little bit. See if it works. Next step here, next piece of information we have for you is the Four of Diamonds, and the Four of Diamonds is about stability of the material. So this is a call to action to really focus on your material well-being, your basic principles. You know, are you sleeping enough? Are you getting good food? Are you exercising? Are you drinking enough water? What are you putting into your ears and eyes? Are you watching negative stuff? Are you listening to politics, this mind control machine, this cow farm, if you will? Is that what you're putting into your brain? Because if you are, well, then it's gonna really suck, and you know it's not gonna be fun. If you're not sleeping well, you're eating crappy food, you're not exercising, you're not drinking enough water, and you're listening to flashing boxes tell you everyone's gonna die every week, so that you vote for who they want you to vote for. Let's focus on getting that sorted out and see how many problems that solves by just adjusting those few variables of, hey, I'm eating healthy, working out, or it doesn't even have to be working out. Be active, drinking water, sleeping well, and I don't listen to crap. Instead, I read a book on, you know, go read classics, go read, I don't know, C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia, go read Lord of the Rings, go read Tale of Two Cities. Oh, that's a terrible book, but you get the idea. go read an old book that calls to you, and that will give you some inspiration and get this crap out of the flashing boxes. Ugh, it's just not good for you, man. And then the final step that we see here is the Nine of Diamonds. So the Nine of Diamonds is about the attainment of material. So this is really about making sure that while we are doing these basic routines, we don't want to neglect the fact that we still need to also focus on material success, achievement, and goals. Make sure that we have something that we can see, ideally daily, but weekly will work, weekly or daily progress on. We want a skill set that we can, at the end of the week, we can reflect back on where we were, reflect back on where we are now, and see, wow, I am somewhat better than I was when I started at the beginning of this week or the beginning of this day. And having that skill is going to give you a visual reminder that you are growing, you are improving, and you have objective evidence to support that case. So that is a really powerful tool to have in your toolbox and should help you through these times. Now, finally, the transformation you can expect is into the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about patience with the principles, and so what this is saying here is make sure that throughout all of this, you're factoring in those principles that you established in the beginning, those philosophical foundations, that groundwork, that ability to think, that rationality, that self-reflectiveness. How does this affect me? Why do I feel the way that I feel? What is the source of these emotions? And then wrestling with those ideas, conflicting with those ideas, dealing with those ideas, and understanding them and writing them down. You know, get the dream journals going, get a self journal going, write down those emotions that come out throughout this time, following that philosophical self-knowledge pursuit. That's what I think is going to help you out a lot. You know, that's one of the big things that I do for my clients, the one-on-one clients, the paracosmic sessions, is talking to them and engaging with their creative sides of their mind and the left side of their mind, their analytical side of the mind, and getting them to think through their emotions, their right brain activities, and logically process that data, and then to write it down so that they know, oh, I went through this because of this, and now I have a tool set for overcoming that in the future. And so that's kind of what you can start doing for yourself as well. And I would recommend that for you deeply, Akira. I hope that helps you out. I hope that gives you some insights. And with that, I think that's our last reading. Unless we have anybody else who'd like a reading, all you need to do is thumbs up the stream, share the stream, and let me know in the comments below that you would like a reading, and we will get a reading going for you shortly. Akira says, thank you so much. No problem at all. And we will also open it up to some Q&A. If you have any questions, you want to talk about the farm of people, or if you want to talk about negotiation tactics, or if you just want to chat, let me know in the comments below. You can ask a wizard whatever you'd like. And I hope that helps you out, Akira, with the struggling with the negative self-talk. It's just not, it's not good, man. You gotta giving yourself that visual thing. Men particularly suffer from that a lot. The negative self-talk talk because we're so objective and reality driven. And so what ends up happening is we don't track our results, and then we just go based on our previous experiences and say, oh man, I sucked today. I'm the worst person ever. And it's like, yeah, have you opened up your book and reviewed the fact that over the last 3 weeks you have accomplished like 50 things? And then you're like, oh yeah, I guess I'm not that bad. It's silly. We do that. I do it myself. It's common. Don't beat yourself up over it. Can I ask a question about anime? Sure. Can I answer it? That's another question. I don't know if I can answer it. What you just said is me in a nutshell. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. It's common. It's something that happens a lot. It sucks. Men are we don't get intrinsic value in society once we are out of the age of being children. We're expected to produce results. That's how we achieve love and affection, and that's just the way society is structured. And frankly, that's a good way. That's the natural way, and it works very well. However, because of that, it's very important for you to track your objectives so that you do know, like, look, I am doing things and affecting my reality in the world. Like, that's a huge thing. You have to be aware that you're doing that. If you don't, then you're going to end up beating yourself up because you'll just live in the moment. What animes have you seen, and have you seen Demon Slayer? I have seen Demon Slayer. I enjoy Demon Slayer, except for the yellow-haired guy. I find him extremely annoying. The one that falls asleep. Very frustrating. I've seen My Hero Academia, Death Note, Zensu. Yes, I can't remember any of their names, to be honest with you. Well, that's not true. I can remember some. My Hero Academia, I like All Might in the fact that it is a true archetypical hero's journey. I like One Punch Man. I already said Death Note, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Yu-Gi-Oh! Ironically, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, so they're by proxy. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and I like Dragon Ball Z Abridged more than Dragon Ball probably. It's so good. The Abridged series are amazing. What is another anime? I know I've seen more than that. Oh, Seven Deadly Sins, though it's on Netflix, and Netflix is creepy. Real freaks over at Netflix, but I did enjoy Seven Deadly Sins. Death Note is my favorite as well. Yes, I love Death Note. It's like if Dexter had supernatural powers and Sherlock Holmes was trying to track him down. That's the best way I could think to describe it. And it's so cool. You're just like, yes. Do you have a pet owl? No, I do not have a pet owl. I heard that they're actually terrible to have as pets. Apparently, they're not meant to be pets. They're wild animals. So if you put them in a cage, they just lose their mind. They just absolutely hate being in cages. They're extremely high maintenance. They get sick. It's just not good. They're a predator. They're monsters. They're the ninjas of nature. And you don't want to contain that. I have seen Full Metal Alchemist. That's a great one. I really liked Full Metal Alchemist. They have a lot of really cool alchemical art. The way that alchemy works in there is very weird, though. It's not very reflective of like the actual alchemy stuff. So I find that to be a little bit silly because I think you could do something really cool with the actual art because basically all alchemy was is like the Freemasons of potions and medicine. So basically they had coded systems to hide their information. And by the way, the Freemasons, not some crazy secret society, by the way. Freemasons were a group of guys that just hung out and knew how to cut stone really well and make buildings. They're Masons who were free. Now, why were they free? Fun fact, this ties back to Plato. The reason that they are free is because they escaped from Plato's cave and were aware of how the system worked. And so it was a secret society of people who felt like they had escaped from the cow pen and they worked with stone. And so they had a secret society of building buildings. That's what the Freemasons are. The alchemists were very similar. The alchemist felt that they had escaped from Plato's cave, they escaped from the farm, and they formed a secret society where they talked about how to make medicines and medication and sell that. And so that's what alchemy really was about. Have you ever watched Beyblade? No, I've never heard of that. Are those are the tops, right? That's where you like pull the vroom and like spins. Oh, me and my grandma bought me back in the day. Oh my gosh, this is just making me flash back to when I was 10. Hey Cole, how's it going? Welcome. We were on the field. That was Beyblades became a thing. Everyone was playing with them, and my grandma bought us these like old school like crazy tops that like you cranked up with a button, and the thing just got super tight, and then you would shoot it, and this thing was like 1,000 times more effective than a Beyblade. And so we would have the Beyblade battles on the field, and then me and my cousin just come in with these things, and we're like, let's go, let's Beyblade. We click the button, and we just destroy everybody. No one even came close to being able to beat our tops. And so it ended up being like a war where everybody was doing all of their Beyblades at the same time, and just to try and take down one of ours. And so we were like a battle boss top. It was really awesome. Oh, those were good times. I was like 10 years old when that happened. I love my Beyblade, yes. What I learned here, I get to go share at school, and it's fun. However, I get called the weird kid a lot, but I love the nickname. Oh, well, Akira, don't let them bother you. Just remember that they're the cows in the cow pen. It's like, if you don't get it, that's fine. The Bible has a very great scripture about it. Don't cast pearls before swine. If people are like, hey, you're talking about truth and how to live a good life and whatnot, and they're like, but I like the flashing picture boxes. Did you say that Trump is the big dumb? And did you say that Biden's the big stupid today? Yeah, the screen says. And if you see that, you're just like, oh, go eat your grain, little cow. Go eat your grain. And then you just move on. And then you will eventually find people who are like, oh, that's interesting. What's going on there? And then from there, you go and say, oh, hey, you want to, like, read a book together? Hey, want to watch the stream together? Hey, want to go and chill and just hang out? That's how you build friends, and then you find the good people. And that's what I'm doing here. That's why I do what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get 1,000,000 people. I don't want 100,000 people. I have a very specific goal. I want 1,000 owls. I want, when this thing goes live, 1,000 people show up and we talk about philosophy, we talk about good ideas, and people enjoy that and they say, hey, I like what this guy's doing, and then maybe they go and talk to their friends and share it from there. If it gets more than 1,000 people, that's fine, but that's not what I want. I want 1,000 people that I literally have the mailing address of and I can just start sending letters to. I literally want just that. That's my ultimate goal for my life, and I don't care how long it takes, but I want to find 1,000 people who are interested in philosophy. And that starts with 10. 10 is my first goal. To be honest, 12 is my first goal, because that's what Jesus did, the 12 apostles, and I like reminding myself that Jesus changed the world more than anyone ever has with 12 people. And we have achieved more than that, actually, much more. Now we're at like 50 owls, but we have 50 owls, but I don't have the mailing addresses of all of them. I don't have the ability to DM all of them. And so that's what I'm really counting as just having owl in your name is great. That's a good way of me saying, hey, how's it going? But it doesn't mean that we're there yet. There could be people with owl in their name that suck. Don't find out. That's a good way to get the conversation going. Hey, you got owl in your name. You watch The Wizard? That kind of thing. Especially with TikTok. It's pretty intense. Yeah. Can I have a reading? Of course, Toasted Bread. Welcome. Maybe what I need to do is just stay on here later, because you guys all show up later or earlier. We were just mocking people who mock Akira for, he's like, yeah, I was like studying Plato and learning about economics and society and governmental structure and how I can live a better life that will help me be financially wealthy in the future and have a happy family and friends and community. And then the friends at his school were like, that's weird. You should read this story. Look, Kardashian is really stupid today. This is the Kardashian. Uh, yes, big stupid. And then Akira was like, oh God, where am I? And that was the story of Akira. No, not that I care actually. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, you shouldn't. You care for them in the same way. Like if a cow comes up to you and goes, "Meow," you're like, "Hello, cow. How are you doing?" You don't expect them to engage in dialogue. You know, I have to give Nietzsche credit for that. Nietzsche 100% nailed it when he said that the majority of people are like cows. I think he really got it. And you know, Plato said it too. You know, I think there's something to it that there's just people who can't think, and they that's I think that's really Toasted Bread puts in some cool squiggles. What did you need a reading about, Mr. Toasted Bread? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get your reading started right now. I think that what's really missing, just you're just looking for a general reading, awesome, is that people don't realize that this farm that's set up by Plato is designed for a good purpose. Actually, he's doing it for good. While it sounds scary, while it sounds wrong, and you think, ah, it's terrible, you have to realize that those farm people, if you took away, because keep in mind, the whole system is designed to give them money, to give them food, to give them water, to give them power, to give them health care, to give them drugs. If you took that away, most of them will die. It's not that it's good. Can I have a normal reading as well? Yes, indeed, Cole. Let me get you on the list. It's not out of hatred. It's not out of. It's not out of complete villainy. It's they literally think that they are. They literally think they're helping the people by keeping them, sustaining them, allowing them, and they feel like they're justifiably getting results and payment for their hard work. In the same way, a farmer looks at their chickens and says, hey, I've fed you, I've kept you alive, I've protected you from predators, I fight for you every day, I give you food, I give you water. I deserve the eggs that you provide. I deserve some of the eggs. You don't need these eggs. I need these eggs. And that's kind of how they view the farm class people, the lower tier of the individuals. They think it's fine for me to tax you, to farm you for tax money. It's fine for me to farm you for resources, profit, cash, products, because I'm providing you all these things. And so there is a case to be made that what they're doing is needed. It's necessary. And Plato makes that very compellingly in the Republic, even though it's a hard idea to deal with. He makes a very strong argument. However, I do think Aristotle's argument is a bit more robust, and Aristotle's smarter, objectively. I wish I could have infinite readings. They are so cool. Well, thank you very much, Toasted Bread. You can have infinite readings by getting free readings here every stream, and you can also do paid readings if you'd like at askawizardmagic.com. Or, by the way, I forgot to mention the Ask a Wizard tip jar. If you go to paypal.me/askawizard and pay whatever you would like a question to be answered for, you pay whatever you think that's worth. I write it down. Basically, on paypal.me, you get a little chance to type in a note. You can put in whatever you want, a question, support, anything. I write it down on a piece of paper. I crumble it up. Once we get a couple of these in here, I go through and I read them by placing them to my forehead and trying to figure out who has written the question and what they have written in their question and answer the question before we open it up. So if you're interested in seeing that or being part of that, you can go to paypal.me/askawizard, pay whatever you think that is worth. Think of it like the tip jar on my farmer's market stand, because that's what this whole thing is based about. If you guys have ever been to my farmer's market stand in real life, I literally sit here on a table just like this. I have a close-up mat. I do readings for people. I have my bookshelf behind me. I sell people books, and I have a tip jar. And that is how I crush as a wizard. So this is just a digital version of that. Well, with that being said, that is the pitch. What time are the readings? Well, you're getting a reading right now. We start at 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time. I apologize. I don't say goodnight when the stream ends. It's really late here, and I have school tomorrow. I do want to stay on this live so as long as I can. No problem at all, dude. Just whenever you need to go to bed, go to bed. It's fine. Sleep is important. I think, didn't we just give you a reading about how you need to sleep, Akira? Come on. You got to focus on getting good sleep. Yeah, no problem at all. We should get a Discord set up. I think I have one. I think that'd be a good place for the owls to like hang out. We have a Facebook group, but nobody likes Facebook. And I agree with them. All right. Mr. Toasted Bread. Ooh, Mr. Jung, here we go. Looking in the past here, Mr. Toasted Bread, we see the Eight of Hearts. So the Eight of Hearts here is about the advancement in emotions. So what this is telling us here, hey, how's it going, Javer? This is, the Eight of Hearts is about advancement in emotions. So what this is saying, Toasted Bread, is that we're going through a situation right now that's really causing our temperature to rise. We're getting a little frustrated here in the past. So we're seeing getting a little upset, maybe it's not upset. What is it? It's anxious? I think there's a little bit of anxiety here about the beginning of a new material journey. We're doing something new in the world. We're starting a new project. This might be a new job. This might be a new class, but we're beginning something new. And in the past, we felt a lot of anxiety about it, and now we're walking into the present, and we're seeing that begin right now. And that's the Ace of Diamonds. So that's the beginning of the new material journey. My instincts are telling me this is regarding, I think this is like school or education. That's kind of what this is drawing me towards. Like maybe it's the beginning of a new class, and we were a little anxious about it, and now we've begun it. Is this sounding accurate for you, Toasted Bread? Is this on point? Let me know in the comments below if this is sounding accurate for you. And if it is, we will move on to the next steps. And if not, that's okay. We will adjust accordingly. By the way, like the stream, share the stream. It's the only way it gets out to the people, because YouTube doesn't promote us at all, mostly because of my own intentions. I don't put tags in my videos. I do not title them well for ranking, and I have intentionally shot this channel's ranking potential in the foot with various different videos so that weird people don't just show up and ruin the fun. But if you know cool people and you'd like to get the word out, you are welcome to share this stream. Toasted, I watched 2 sad movies, if that has anything to do with this. Yeah, basically. I got ungrounded today. I can watch now. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so let's move into the next step. So what do we see here? My necklace almost made a nosedive there. What we see is the Jack of Spades. So the Jack of Spades popping up here is about taking action on knowledge. So what this is telling us here is that the next steps that we need to do is really start studying, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, and just go for it. We need to not be so worried about the emotions. We don't need to worry about looking smart or looking good or doing well. We just need to really do the work and apply ourselves. If we do that, everything is going to be okay. You can get through these classes, you can learn what you need to learn, and you can learn the lessons that you need to learn as well. So that's kind of what I see popping up for you here, man, is that you just need to not be concerned about if you can or if I can't. Just do the work. If you show up and you study and you work hard, you're going to be able to get through this time. So that's the advice I have for you today. I hope it helps you out, Toasted Bread. I hope that gives you some insights. And we're going to move on to the next reading, which is Cole. Cole, you are up next. Do. Cole, it's time for your reading right now. I got ungrounded today. I can watch now. Nice. Cole says, yay! And Cole is looking for a general reading as well. Let's get your reading going. Doop, doop, doop. Ooh, all right. So, what have we got going on here? Mr. Marcus Aurelius, would you be so kind? Whoa, okay. Who's the, there's like a guy who's maybe a brother? It could be a brother. Bigger guy, like taller than you. Showing up here in the past. I'm seeing kind of like a, I'm thinking this is a sibling. It feels kind of like, it might be a cousin. I'm not sure, but there's a sibling here where we really are gaining a lot of like, I'm seeing a lot of fun and adventures. We're kind of like learning a lot, kind of like physical challenges, exploring, jungle gyms. I'm seeing a lot of that popping up here in the past. And this person's pretty influential in teaching us kind of like, this is kind of the person, our Calvin and Hobbes, if you will. This is our Hobbes, and we're kind of going on adventures together. I see that popping up here in the past. Now, walking into the present, what we see is the Six of Spades for you, Cole. So the Six of Spades is about a grind in the knowledge. Toasted Bread posted something, and then he redacted it. Toasted Bread, are you in the CIA? We knew it. CIA, Toasted Bread, CIA confirmed. Fact. Six of Spades. So the Six of Spades is about the grind and the intellect. So I see what is happening here is, while this is a friend that we've really liked and enjoyed in the adventuring side of things, I think that we're running into a situation here now where intellectually, I think, how do we put this nicely? They're not really, I messed up a few words, so I removed it. No problem at all, Toasted Bread. I think intellectually we're not able to really keep pace, if you will. I think that while this person's really fun to hang out with, when we talk about more intellectual ideas, maybe philosophy, the eyes kind of glaze over and it's like, yeah, man, that's cool, but like, let's play video games, that kind of thing. And so I think that's kind of where we find you at right now, is this situation with a good friend, a solid friend, but we're struggling on that intellectual side of things. Is this sounding accurate for you, Cole? That sounds like my friend. Awesome. All right. So this is sounding on point. Great. Glad to hear that is accurate for you, and nailing it. Let's see. What did Toasted Bread? Nice. Awesome, Cole's. Glad to hear this is sounding on point. So the next steps, what we see here is the King of Diamonds. And so what the King of Diamonds is telling us is, I have a question. If I get another reading, will it be the same? No, they're different cards every time. So you wouldn't get the same reading. So the King of Diamonds is about knowledge of the material. So what this is really saying here is, that's okay. You don't have to have deep philosophical discussions with all of your friends. Some people have different interests, and that's perfectly acceptable. There's no reason that they have to. It was kind of funny to me. Yeah, I try my best. I try my best. You can, okay, am I allowed to get another one? I tend to do just one per stream, just because I want to give everyone a chance to do them. And also I do have to keep it set to a certain amount of time so that I don't go all night, though, because I have future plans that will involve a lot more content in the near future once I'm done moving, settled down, and we're going to have a lot more cool stuff happening, just so you know. It's going to be fun. So, King of Diamonds here is knowledge of the material. And so what this is saying is there is a wisdom to be found in friendship. In Bilbo Baggins, or I'm sorry, Sam and Frodo. There is huge, immense value there. That's in many ways more valuable than an intellectual partner. You can go find some weirdo on Reddit that will engage with you intellectually any day, and they'll probably be wrong, and they'll probably not have very good research, and they'll probably just Google stuff. But you know what? They will pretend to be smart, and there's I think a genuine honesty in saying, look, I'm not interested in that thing. I don't really know, and I'm more into video games and so on and so forth, or I'm really more into this kind of thing, and that's good. You can have lots of different friends. So rather than worrying about like, oh, is this terrible? Is this bad? Just he's my friend that I hang out with, have good times with. We don't talk about Play-Doh together. That's okay. There's no problem with that at all. And so I think that's really the lesson here for you, Cole, is just realize that that's a great friendship. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a good friendship to have. So that is the reading I have for you today, Cole. I hope that helps you out. I hope that gives you some insights. And with that, I think that's the last stream for today. Over by just about 10 minutes here. It's 1:09, and after school tomorrow, I'm going to play video games with my friend. Yes, awesome. Glad to hear it. It is 10:10 for me here. Awesome. Thank you. No problem at all, Cole. Glad I could help. And with that, we're going to close up the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope it was beneficial for you and helped you out and gave you guys some insights. And if you want to support the stream, it's 2 a.m. where you're at. My goodness, Akira. Akira, you said you were going to go to bed. Akira. Okay. If you guys want to support the stream, goodbye, everybody. You can go to paypal.me/askawizard. I said I would eat. Oh, okay, got you. paypal.me/askawizard. Pay whatever you think me answering a question for you is worth, or if you want to basically just throw something in the tip jar, we will write it down, throw it in here, and then once I get enough in here, I will do a magic trick where we answer the question without looking at it. If you'd like to see what that looks like, I did that show yesterday. So if you're interested in checking that out, head on over there, and that's the place to be. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time here on YouTube. Have a great night. Sleep well when you do. See ya. Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace. We really need to get a Discord so you guys can hang out. All right. I'll work on it. Peace. Good night.